Join us as we go all the way from stupidity to regret to fun to reclamation to off-road glory as we build the 2003 Mazda Protege Safari5. ...2003 Mazda Protege5 manual. What do we say about this car? Well, first off, it was bought for a purpose, and that purpose was Taylor's bachelor party. Now, we have a film about this trip that was filmed earlier this year in April, but unfortunately, I haven't had time to edit that video. It is a massive, massive video. We're probably going to do a 3-part series, but just know this car was bought to be used and disposed, but ended up winning the hearts of all of us over, so she stays and gets the treatment. AKA, which means getting fixed and continuing its life as an off-road vehicle, AKA, Mom said we have Subaru WRX wagon at home. Leonard Skinner said it best when he said simple mod. No wait, he said simple man. So we're gonna keep it simple, man, with this first mod. The Protege5 as we know it here in the United States never came with a cabin air filter for some reason. However, the Japanese Familia did, which means family in Spanish. Makes sense for Japan, right? So, as you can see here, did a pretty decent job of cutting this up with a box cutter. Sorry, my voice sounds weird because I'm upside down filming. But yeah, we can see I just got to clean up the edges a little bit and it'll be good to go in. So I'm just now realizing that the air filter that they sent us is actually not a cabin air filter. It's an engine air filter. So I'm gonna have to wait to order that, but the job is pretty much done there. We just got to throw it in. But you can see why it's a good idea to actually have that cabin air filter, especially because this car is going to see a lot of dust with what we plan to do with it. So I think it's going to be nice to have, and it takes 5 seconds to take that dashboard out, or the glove box. Okay guys, a couple more things that we're going to do to the Protege. Number one is going to be an oil change. So that is going to be much needed after we off-roaded this thing quite a bit in the desert, and we're pretty hard on it. I cleaned the air filter itself. I took it out and vacuumed it and blew it out with compressed air. So that thing, it was brand new before the trip, so it's good to go. So we'll do that, and then I also have a replacement fog light. Now, we cracked one of them because we were following maybe a little close to the Civic on some gravel roads. Debatable. I'll let the video prove itself. Then we also have some mud flaps here. These are just some generic ones from Amazon, aka eBay with free shipping. I couldn't find any actual Protege specific ones. I think the days of those being manufactured are long gone, so we're gonna have to make these generic ones work. And then I have another little goodie here, and this is a shift knob that I've actually been interested in for a while. I've seen them around quite a bit. It is a Tome Duracon, not to be confused with any type of condom. It's some type of, well-wearing plastic, and it doesn't get super hot in the summer, so it's gonna be really nice, and I think it'll kind of fit the look and feel of the car for what we're going for. The old one is just super worn out, and I want to have something that still has like kind of a nice ease of use for when we're rally crossing. Let's go ahead and throw these things on and get that oil change done. There we go. So let me show you where the oil filter is, because I had no idea, and I was kind of looking around. And so back here behind the oil pan, headed towards the back of the car, if you come up, behind the drive shafts, or the CV axles here. You will see it. So yeah, it's really tucked up there. You got to get way under here to even see that, but there it is. It's going to make a pretty nice mess. This might be the worst oil filter replacement I've seen. It's funny because everything else in this car has been so easy. Somehow I just hand loosened that. Jesus Christ.
That's Jason Bourne.
She's an exotic. This is for sure gonna rain down here. There is a 0% chance of not making a huge mess out of this. Well, actually that wasn't horrible. Really didn't make that big of a mess. I wonder why the check engine light could be on. Somebody call a doctor. If you've never dealt with wiring before, repairing wiring is pretty simple. You usually end up just matching the same color wires with each other and then proofing that connection and sealing it off to make sure that it flows well and is kept from the elements. In this case, I like to use these heat shrink connectors, which form around the wires when heat is applied. Alright, I'm an idiot and I didn't get that on the screen on the frame, but I use those heat shrink solders that we love to use. These guys right here. Put a link on those, and then put some of that the plastic wiring sheath, and then sealed it up with some electrical tape, so it should be good to go. So here's the other part of what we're going to be doing in this episode. These are just some very generic mud flaps from Amazon. I think they were like $17. So they are just, you know, kind of stiff plastic. Actually, they're not super wobbly. They've got some give to them, but they're not, you know, rubber style ones. So we've got to trim those to fit and find a way to make those work for us well. And of course, no good kit, no quality automotive piece is complete without self-tapping screws. Alright, well that's fit up pretty well, so let's go ahead and replicate this on the other side. Oh yeah, baby. Let me see those mud flaps. Nice. Alright guys, here is another mod. This one is one of my favorites. It's pretty much what I do to any vehicle once I first get it. and that is interior LED lights. You can see these old style halogen ones, they just, well, you know how they are. They're old and useless, just like me. They don't cast a lot of light, so LEDs are the way to go. They improve that visibility and really update the look of the vehicle on the inside as well too. So let's put those in. These are usually polarized, so if you put them in one way and they don't work, don't panic. Just flip it and it should work. It's always fun. Man, this is a really great example of a mod gone right. I think this thing looks amazing and it actually feels really good. A lot of times when you go with some of those metal weighted knobs, it kind of dulls out the feeling, especially on front wheel drive cars that have cable actuated linkages. And this thing, if anything, it's actually increased that feel, and it feels really good in the hand and very ergonomic, and it looks amazing to me. And they include these cool little, you know, the shift patterns. And I don't know if, it doesn't really look like it's intended to go on top because you put this extremely nice little logo up there. So I just went ahead and slapped it down there, but I think this looks awesome. Alright guys, the part I was most looking forward to is finally here. It is this piece from Spoiler King. I saw this recently on someone's video. I apologize, I don't remember who that was, but this thing looked really awesome on his Protege5, so I went ahead and pulled the plug on it. Let's go ahead and unbox it. Oh boy. Alright, so, pretty interesting here. You can see it's kind of like I think it's a heavy polyurethane, so it is actually kind of curved in the box, and it says warm to bend it up, and it looks like it's actually already just kind of forming on its own now that it's out. So, and don't forget, this is for a Protege. Protege, y'all. Not a Protege. So pretty nice. It includes a little decal here and then some instructions, as well as oh, primer adhesion promoter, interesting. Yeah, it's got some little alcohol wipes here, so you can clean the surface before you attach it. So let me just review this real quick and then we'll go ahead and throw it on.
I don't have to say anything. I'm a doctor too.
voltage is normal. Bluetooth disconnect.
We're supposed to let that warm up on the defroster there for the windshield for about 15 to 30 minutes, it says. I don't know. I don't think that's totally necessary to do like a full 30 minutes. So we'll probably air closer to 15 or so and then pull it out.
The voltage is normal. Bluetooth disconnect.
It's good to know the voltage is normal.
Bluetooth connection.
So yeah, we'll pull it off and then we'll try installing it from there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and clean it off one more time using their supplied alcohol wipes. And turns out that adhesion promoter is actually used on the surface here. I've never seen anything like that before for installing a body panel. I've only seen it used for, painting like surfaces that are kind of flexible. All right, we're gonna go ahead and apply this adhesion promoter here. It says let this, use like the minimum amount required and then let it dry for 5 to 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pull the spoiler out and begin to put it on. Putting this spoiler on was a little bit tricky, almost as tricky as my first marriage with Deborah. At least I ended up with the cars. She got the kids. Ugh. Alright, and now we let that sit for a while. We'll just let it sit overnight and through tomorrow, and that sun should really bake things up, and we've taped down the ends here so that way they'll just be nice and planted and connect with that surface really well. Know what I'm saying? Okay guys, so something funny about this is that the AC fan speeds only work on 1 and 4. On 2 and 3 the AC actually cuts out and doesn't work. Sometimes it works on 3, never on 2. And apparently that's a known thing with Proteges. So there's actually a guy that makes a fix for these. You can do it by wiring in some individual resistors and stuff, but this guy here, I forget his name, but it's Harness Performance. He makes this little adapter here, which just plugs in and fixes that resistance issue. It's a really nice little solution with no splicing and no wiring required. And then this little guy as well too. So it actually goes like that and then plugs right in. So it's really nice. He includes the instructions here, and then it's pretty straightforward. We need to take off this radio and then get to the AC control unit down here and then plug that in. Not sure this is gonna work, but people say that if you stick a butter knife in each side and kind of pry outwards like this, that this should come out. But I don't know, this looks different than the earlier gen of the car. Looks like I might actually need the tools to pull this thing out though. Let's see what we can figure out. Staring at the back of your own head in post, well, it does things to a man. Like make you realize that bald spot looks like the Milky Way.
If it is, it should make it easier to get to the stuff behind it. If you didn't just break your bracket, which I think you broke part of it. On this side.
Yeah. Oh, I did, didn't I? Well, I was not expecting that to...
That seemed easier than
Hey, look.
pull off when I figured.
So,
This little one
yeah.
right here.
Yeah, so it's gonna go into here.
Hope your e-brake's good.
Not really. Thank you, Lord. That was so ridiculous. Okay. Here,
I don't know what you're looking for. So
just gotta unplug this. Here, so this magnetic?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna set that here and then so I can do this real quick. All right, number one, just get the tools to remove that. Number two, you can see this is where we connected that new harness, and then it plugs in right down here into that connector. And this frame rate's gonna look really weird. Anyways, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this off camera. All right, guys, we are about to draw to a close here on the Mazda Protege5 little rally adventure build, safari, whatever we want to call this thing. And we've got one little thing left to do, and that is to, well, I guess two things. Replace the broken fog light on the passenger side that we cracked during the bachelor trip. Might have been spitting gravel at each other, you know, it happens. And then the other thing too, to complete that JDM rally look, is to throw on some yellow tint onto these as well. So I picked this up from Premium Auto Styling. They are actually specific cutouts for the Mazda Protege5, so that's really nice, because putting a square piece of vinyl on a round circle really sucks. Ask me how I know. So let's go ahead and try to put the vinyl on this first one that's already off the car, and then see how it goes with the one on the car. Mess the vinyl up by stretching it some, by heating it too much, but it's, I don't know, you'd have to be kind of close up on it to really tell, especially with these you know, lines on the inside of the light. So I'm actually pretty happy with that, because I really suck at vinyl, so we'll just try to do better on the other one. Got it. There's glass all over the driveway now. That bolt sheared in half. Yeah, that thing was not going to give. That's how rusty that is. A surprise present in the form of a moth. And of course, he died tragically because of Lem. Rest in peace, Mothman. Gone from this world, but never from our hearts. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I got a beautiful car here for you. All I want is $7,000. Look at this bitch.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Look at her indeed. Still a turd, but a slightly better looking turd with mud flaps and yellow lights. That counts for something, right? Anyways, we've got a long ways to go until we are Mom's Subaru WRX at home. So stick with us and we'll see you in the next episode.